welcome to the podcast. Today is the weekend and damn dude, it's too hot. I put the suit on with a tie and everything. I'm done. We're gonna make the weekends t-shirt. Welcome to the Anton and Vitaliy Versace podcast. Oh, welcome to the weekend. Today and tomorrow I'm not going to the office. I'm not going to be tortured. And I'm just gonna be home. And we're gonna make the best we can from this time that we have today, Saturday, and tomorrow, Sunday. Welcome to the Anton and Vitaliy Versace podcast. I am so happy to see you. This is your host, Anton. And it's gonna be a great podcast, man. You just started listening now and you're just gonna keep listening. You don't wanna close this. Things that gonna happen. The story of my life. You don't wanna hear the story of my life on a podcast? That's the purpose. We put the story of my life on a podcast for how much I pay? $40 a month. That means I have to pay this company $40 a month for all my life? Well, I have the library. But once you get the people used with the podcast, they're just gonna listen to the podcast. Versace's movie Jungle Book, because this was a podcast really started with Vitaliy Versace. I told him he is the most important. Then he said, oh, but it's your name. It's the Anton podcast. So it's not even my name in there. So I said, all right, man, no problem. I'm gonna make it the Anton and Vitaliy Versace podcast. I kind of like it how it sounds when you hear Versace podcast. Like, what is this Versace podcast? Who is this Versace? Like, what is going on? So I kind of like that title, and we're gonna keep it that way. Oh, and then yesterday, Mr. Versace tells me, I don't even know why I started doing this podcast. Some people told, doesn't want to say who, because I would get them on the air. I would say, all right. So let me have you on the air that you're telling Mr. Versace not to do the podcast. You know, you're trying to convince him into not doing something magnificent like this podcast. And explain. Let's hear why. He says, it's a waste of my time. It's a waste of your time? When I was making movies with you, I thought the same. I thought it was a waste of time. But you, Mr. Versace, you were saying, no. Let's get these actors, meet me in somewhere in a valley, I don't remember where, to shoot a movie. What movie? What are you talking about? That was in my mind. So then it proved to be that Mr. Versace was right. The movie that he was starred in, now he's directing Jungle Book, the movie. But the first movie he was starring in, Born into Mafia, got millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of views. That's a Donald Trump trademark. Millions, billions and billions. The economy is gonna grow. This podcast is gonna grow. We're gonna have billions and billions and billions. I wish I'm gonna upgrade the podcast, that's for sure. In the future, we're not gonna be by the highway in my backyard. We're gonna be in a nice studio broadcasting like kings. And I'm gonna have guests. I'm gonna have sidekicks. I need sidekicks because I'm just here by myself. I can do anything. But with sidekicks and guests in Los Angeles, that's gonna be. I'm just stuck here on East Coast. I think for another 3 months. With personal problems. But after these personal things, they're gonna go away. Dude, I'm gonna fly. I think I still got the power. I don't exercise a lot, but maybe I'm gonna exercise. You never know. Exciting. Exciting to have you on a show again on a Saturday. Let's call this guy and see what's up. So yesterday he was giving me signals, Mr. Versace. I don't know why I'm doing this podcast because it's a waste of my time. Hey man, maybe it's a waste of. It's not really a waste because it's on a video. I was planning to get him on video too, but right now we just have audio and I can only show you pictures. It's like I'm in an age of the photo cameras. And I think Mr. Versace, after the sign yesterday, that he was giving me basically a heads up that oh man, this is like a job because the podcast it's every morning. Every morning I'm gonna be here with you, and we're gonna chat about life, about my life, about what is going on. That's a podcast. You want me to make some boring podcast about what is happening in the world? Huh? No problem. I have a bunch of nonsense happening right now. Let's see here. Who is this guy, first of all? Justin Verlander. I don't know of this guy, who he is. Houston Astros pitcher. He was giving a real upcharge for his team beating the Los Angeles Dodgers. Okay, so this is from a piece from sports. For all the sports fans out there, this guy went to Beverly Hills Hotel, and I think someone make a joke and put it on a bill that they're charging him $1 million miscellaneous because he's a Dodger killer. So that means he beat the Dodgers. So yeah, just a joke. The guy is gonna pay $1 million, but 2 eggs and a style meat that he ate is $28. $30 for one pancake. That's how much is at Beverly Hills Hollywood Hotel. One green something, $20. Cranberry juice, $10. Get out of here, man. But for this guy who's got like a bunch of cash, there is no problem. He beat the Dodgers. So you don't say that we don't have sports on a George Anton and Vitaliy Versace podcast. We have sports news for all the sports fans, you know, and for my muscles. My boss was asking me, so when you gonna do the comeback? When we're gonna see the movies and everything? When you gonna make like a big movie? And soon. That's why this podcast, it's a great platform for promoting my next film, Goats from the Underground, where I star in a movie as the goat boy. I'm exercising. I'm running right now my lines in a mirror, and including my goat sounds. See, I have some misses here and there, but I can do it. Because this movie that I'm promoting on a podcast here is not with George Clooney, who is the highest paid actor. Without starring in a single movie, became the highest paid actor. Well, he was on a great TV show, and he's a great people person. He knows how to connect people. George Clooney. We're not gonna have in a movie, but we have George Anton, the star of this podcast, starring in this movie. Goes from the Underground, coming out. Boom, boom, bigger, getting millions. And Vitaliy Versace promoting his movies as well. We promoted here Jungle Book. Now he gets about 2,000 views a day. Because I was wondering what is the deal with that situation, and then I looked into it a little bit to see where is the coming from the views, and I have a surprise for him. But he's not here on a show to give him the surprise to tell him, that the podcast is doing well. A lot of people listening. This is unbelievable. Since we put it on iTunes and Google, because I was only on a Podbean network or something like that, and there were not so many people. But now, dude, when I released it on Google and iTunes, boo, it just started pumping up. So yeah, I'm very happy about that, and I'm pumped up. I'm pumped up because this is gonna be a great show today. Today is Saturday. It's a great day. After the podcast, I'm gonna dig into movie making all day today and tomorrow. I have some pieces to edit for Mr. Versace. I have to receive a payment also from him today. So I hope I receive the payment because I need the money. I need to invest in some equipment today. But that's what I'm gonna do, man. It's gonna be an amazing weekend for filmmaking. So yeah, let me show you. Forget about George Clooney, because I had a picture here, how he makes millions. I want to show you the next movie millionaire that's gonna be. Check this picture out. This is I know a lot of people, or a lot of you are just listening. I have a picture on a screen with myself acting in the movie Goats from the Underground. It's basically I'm deep into my character, Goat Boy, and I just got scared by a ghost looking like a goat coming from the underground. And I'm a great actor. I'm also a SAG actor since 2006. I joined. I paid $5,000 to join SAG and AFTRA at that time. Two unions. They were trolling me to join the Broadway, and I said no, I don't wanna. But then now I'm thinking, what a dumbass! Why didn't I join the Broadway union to go on a Broadway and act? I can sing too, like I'm an excellent singer. But I'm gonna release the singing in Goats from the Underground movie. There is a scene where I'm going to a karaoke show. So right now I just found the location. I have to go there and sing, and I'm gonna have the people filming me for one beautiful scene. And yeah, it's gonna be a comedy, horror comedy, with ghosts, UFOs, a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff is gonna happen in this movie. Special effects, explosions. I'm gonna be chased because I'm running. I'm running around the yard, and the ghosts are chasing me, looking like goats. And the visuals are just gonna be amazing. You're gonna watch this. It's gonna be released on Amazon Prime. The title is Goats from the Underground. It's loosely based on Notes from the Underground by Dostoevsky. Alright, George Clooney was let's see what he says here. Oh no, this is about a company, man, that invested in movies. I want to make a movie, but these people, check this out. Earlier this week, Global Road employees were informed that lenders have took control of the film studio. So this is about a film studio that produced a bunch of films, very high budget, with big actors, and the movies are going nowhere. Owned by Tang Media Partners, it is the combination of Open Road Films, the Oscar-winning studio behind Spotlight. Anyway, this company was purchased for 28 million. Alright, Then 200 million? Wow, what a scam. So they sold the company from 28 million to 200 million. It was a very charismatic chairman. Man, these people, how they do business, and they make like a little bunch of money. And they wanted to make 15 films a year while focusing on bridging the cultural businesses, um, and divide the differences between China and US as far as movie making. And that's proved to be a very complicated when President Donald Trump started the trade war with China and the investment in entertainment. Boom, boom, boom. No more Chinese in Hollywood. You know? It's like a Nazi state. The Chinese were coming with money. I was hoping to get some money from the Chinese so I can make some movies, sponsor this movie goes from the underground. Like this company can sell a company from 28 million to 200 million. For what? And the Chinese are not coming anymore. They were willing to pay extra, all the money that they made in China using slave labor. They would give to some Americans to make them rich, just to make 15 movies a year with this company. Now, the trade war starts with Donald Trump in between China and US, and goodbye China investments in the movie business in Hollywood. Goodbye investment in Goats from the Underground, the movie that I'm starring in. It's all me. I have to do it all by myself with my phenomenal acting. If you can go and watch on YouTube at minute 16, you can see a picture of a screenshot from the movie when I actually see for the first time in the movie the goat. It's like a ghost, like a UFO kind of thing, very mysterious. Doesn't talk in the beginning, but then it starts talking, and then I start understanding what is going on. It's an apocalypse going on in the world, so I'm stuck in a house. So that is my character. So yeah, welcome to the Vitaliy Versace podcast. Vitaliy Versace is missing to continue the story. So he gave me the heads up yesterday, man, that he doesn't want to do the show anymore. Oh, every morning I do. And now when I'm gonna talk to him, because I have to do the editing job for him, so he's gonna call me so we can work more. I love to do this movie that he's doing. He actually was very good inspiration for me, very inspiring. Because I saw him, he went and he shot a movie, and I said, man, I'm not gonna shoot a movie again. I shot like 17 feature-length motion pictures to date, and I said I'm not gonna shoot another movie without a proper budget, like minimum 50, 100 grand, so I can actually shoot a movie, not just make like some. But yeah, he inspired me. And I'm said, man, if he shot like this, let me shoot the movie, just in the weekends. Before I go to work, it's kind of complicated, but I'm gonna try. But mostly in the weekends, maybe couple of scenes in the evening, when I come back from the office. I'm so tired. I'm working so much, man, at that desk, 8 hours, bam, 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 bam. I like acting better. I'm an actor. I'm a SAG actor since 2007. Why would I not be an actor? So I'm gonna make this movie, Goats from the Underground. Whatever is gonna be, beautiful comedy, with me, starring with me in a picture. So yeah. And I love you for watching the podcast and doing what you're doing, and searching where you're searching. You know what I'm talking about. Because I wanted to tell Mr. Versace, but I can't get him on the line. So I'm not gonna tell him. The power of the media, man. Now Facebook, he set up a meeting with the heads of Twitter and all these other companies Man, I had the news here and now I can. Oh, here he is. I found the guy. Because I'm showing also some pictures, for all the podcast listeners associated with the podcast. So we make it a little bit more entertaining. Sorry if I'm boring you with that. Facebook invites Google, Twitter, and others to discuss elections meddling. So this is the power of social media, man. If you know how to use it, and you know what kind of products to make, I'm happy about this podcast. I don't care. For as long as it's gonna go, for as long as I'm gonna promote my movies, this is the purpose. I found the purpose. Because first the purpose was like, I was talking to Versace on the phone every morning. And I said, man, why am I wasting my time talking anyway on a phone, but not recording it on a podcast? And that's how we started. I started the podcast, and I had him once as a guest, and then he liked it, and he kept doing the shows. He did 33, man. He did it. Not many people can do it. Many people cannot do 2 shows, and they quit. But I gotta give him the props. We started. I said we're gonna do 1,000 shows together on the podcast, on George Anton and Vitaliy Versace podcast. But the guy forgot about 1,000. We are now just the show number 35. Is this or 34? Until 1,000 shows, we need to work, man. I mean, I understand this kind of like work, but it's not really work, because I would be here anyway, concentrating, writing something, and I already wrote. I'm already writing. So, what to tell you? To me, it's not a waste of time. So anybody who would say the podcast is a waste of time, maybe they should look at their own life and see what a waste of time their life is. For being haters, for someone who does a podcast like me, do you think it's easy to come, set up equipment, get ready for the show, get ready with the news? Look, I have Mr. Mark Zuckerberg here. Get ready with the lines and everything. This is not easy. So they cannot, these people that they talk about, that it's a waste of time to do the podcast, they cannot do not one podcast. They just think about doing a podcast, and then the next thought that's coming in their head, they quit already. But to wake up every morning and come live on a show, okay. So I think I made my point, man. That's another thing that I'm working on. The podcast is gonna be better and better, and I'm gonna be an even greater communicator to the audiences out there. Just with my person. I mean, this is it. This is my person. What am I gonna do? Change? What am I gonna do? Pretend that I'm somebody else? I'm a filmmaker. I'm an actor. I'm an actor. Yeah? Make sure that you get that straight up. And I like acting better than going to the office, man, every day. I'm acting with these people on the phone every day, man. Every day. Hello, this is the company. My name is George. How may I help you today? And then it starts. 120 phone calls I got on Friday. Customer service, bro. From filmmaker to customer service representative. To not mention that I've done some shitty jobs in the past couple of years since I got divorced that I can't even tell you. I worked in restaurants. I worked as a driver. I got my security guard card to be security. I just got an email from a company in Beverly Hills. They want to hire me as a security guard. So I said, I'm sorry, but I'm stuck on the East Coast for another month, 2 months or so. I don't know for how long. So I've done a bunch of jobs like this. That was paying better, actually, the security job. So compared with what I'm making now. But I have to be here. And I mean, really, I can't complain because I'm really sitting at a desk. The air conditioning is on, and I have the suit on, and I'm basically on the phone asking, hello, my name is George. How may I help you? For 8 hours continuously. Boom, boom, boom. There is no pause. As soon as one phone hangs up, the other phone picks in, and I have to make the notes in a computer. As I'm picking up the next phone call, I'm making the notes in a computer for the previous phone call. That's how fucked up this is. Not many made it. We were in a class for this job, 36 people. Now there are 4 left. I'm one of the 4, and new groups are coming in all the time. They're training them how to answer the phones, how to deal with the situation, and then putting them on a hot plate, and then after like 1 week they quit. I think a lot of people are coming to do this job also because you have like 2 weeks training and it's paid. So you're gonna go and do the 2 weeks, you get paid, and maybe you go work a couple of days and then you quit, and you get paid for just training. But when it's about the job, dude, it can be stressful. I mean, yeah, not everybody made it. I will quit any day. If when my movie hits, goes from the underground, I'm gonna just quit. I'm gonna go to them and I'm gonna say, because the company is great that I work for, the people are great. I have nothing to say bad about the company. Nothing, zero. So the vice president, I like her. She's a very nice woman. And oh yeah, that's how I started. I was vacuuming the building just to be recorded, because I want this to be recorded so it can stay there. Because I moved here, I needed the job. I didn't know anybody. I'm stuck here. You know, I'm just doing some legal with my wife. Hey, kitty cat. I'm just for my child support. I'm just here for my child, for just to make sure I make money for my child and support my daughter. But when I came here, dude, not knowing anybody, driving a shitty car that I just bought from LA, because I had to go to LA to close some business when I flew back from Europe. And I drove here, and I worked. Also, I had a part-time job vacuuming the building. So then I found out about this job, that the customer service. I think I can do that, to be a customer service representative. And then I went to the interviews, you know, because I was vacuuming there in the evening anyway. So I said, why am I spending gas? I would rather go there, work, and then in the evening vacuum, and then make double money. So I did this. I did it, man, for a while, and I was exhausted. Like waking up in the morning, going to work, working 8 hours, taking a break in my car for like half an hour, then go back to work to vacuum the whole building while I was doing the training. And the first week of work, I think 3 weeks I did that, or 4 weeks. It was exhausting. Like as soon as I would get home at midnight. So I would eat something and I would fall asleep by 1 a.m. to wake up in the morning and start again. And that was exhausting. And then the woman that I was vacuuming for, the guy that I was working for, was the guy, you know, because when he saw my resume and he saw all the movies that I made, I said, what the hell are you vacuuming a building when you are like a film director? You're successful, you have all this. And I said, bro, I don't have anything. After my divorce, I was ruined. So right now I'm just picking up again. You know, my business was ruined. I don't want to get into the details, but basically destroyed all my 13 years of filmmaking. And he said, oh man, so when am I gonna see you come back from George Anton? And here is your comeback, bro. I'm gonna text you this podcast, so you can see the comeback. I'm on a podcast here and making a movie, Goats from the Underground. And this woman took over the company, and then she said, oh, I cannot give you 4 hours anymore. I can give you only 3 hours. So I said, look, I don't have a problem with you giving me less hours. I work less hours. I vacuum. I finish my job faster. But I'm not gonna take a cut in pay. I'm not gonna do that. So if you don't pay, I just don't do it anymore. I don't care. I mean, you're looking at how much you pay me, how much money you get from the contract from these people in the building here to make the money. What is this, a slave country? So she said, no, no, I cannot, because I cannot afford. And I said, all right, no problem. Then here is the key. I gave her the keys from the building, and I said goodbye. Thank you very much. Good luck. Good luck in the future with this vacuuming job. And then I stayed with this customer service representative that I am right now until I'm just gonna pump up this movie coming up with the help of the social media, Google, Twitter, and others, to discuss the promotion of Goats from the Underground, the new movie starring George Anton. That's the deal, man. We make a movie, we make it, it's gonna be low budget, it's gonna be a fun film to watch, and hopefully we're gonna make more money than this company that I lost with the Chinese that we were talking about earlier. The Chinese retired their investments, and Global Road Company looking to sell films after the lenders take control. You know, the insurance company. So now the films are in the hands of banks that they are seeking to sell off film assets. So can you imagine to scam a bank in such a bad way where you give them a movie to sell? Because a bank doesn't know how to sell a movie. That's just for insurance. The movie is supposed to be sold already. So this is a scam. City of Lies, a crime thriller with Johnny Depp. So they have one of those. Okay, so we have a bank selling a movie with Johnny Depp. Anybody interested? Anybody wants to buy City of Lies starring Johnny Depp? Or do you want to buy Goats from the Underground starring George Anton? Because seems like the bank is stuck with a movie. They just gotta watch the movie in the bank. These guys with the money, I am very angry about that. I am very angry that some people have so much money scamming in the movie business and doing all kinds of shenanigans, and real filmmakers like me, I'm forced to read the news on a podcast. But this is a great thing to promote. This is all I have. The bank doesn't even have this podcast to promote that movie with Johnny Depp. So I'm gonna give you an update what's gonna happen, and I promise you this movie is not gonna make any money back. Hundreds of millions of dollars these people they try to scam. Alright, Johnny Depp backing up a co-production with Studio Canal, so they involve also the French. So they were coming some French movie scammers as well in the mix. Wild Wild Country, the documentary, man. The composer scores a vinyl release for the brothers. So I don't remember the names of the brothers. Brothers Chapman. That's the act. They co-directed this 6-part film series. Man, it was kind of boring. It could have done in like 4 episodes, but it was good. I enjoyed watching. Could have been successful if that woman, the Indian woman, would have not gone crazy and to poison the city with salmonella. They put a laboratory in the town there, and they poisoned the whole city. They sprayed salmonella over the salad bars in the restaurants, so people cannot vote. So they ended up in politics, with that. I don't wanna give you spoilers. So watch Wild Wild Country. I highly recommend it. I was kind of watching who is this guy Osho, and I was seeing that picture Wild Wild Country and everybody talking about it. And when am I gonna watch some document? I started a little bit something from the 70s or something like that. What is this? I'm not gonna watch this. Oh man, if everybody says it's good, let me give it a shot. So I gave it a shot. I watched it. Wild Wild Country. I liked it. So I think I don't know about the Oscar, but if you're thinking what other movies, documentaries could be for the Oscar, Michael Moore didn't make anything. He's doing now 7-Eleven, but I don't know what this is. It was 9/11. Now he's doing 7-Eleven with Donald Trump. That's no Oscar there. I mean, Donald Trump should get an Oscar himself for all the performances he's done on TV. It's an Oscar nomination for the best documentary actor in the world, Donald Trump. I have a fun news for you. Versace just texted me and he's saying, oh, I just woke up. So he didn't quit the show. Good news. He's still on. We're still gonna have him today, so he's gonna make it this episode, the episode 35. Let's see how many episodes he's gonna make it. I'm really curious. But I know him, man. I know this guy for 12 years, Mr. Vitaliy Versace, the Hollywood producer, director. He made a bunch of films. He's into entertainment. He's into film business. He loves film business, and he's not a quitter. The guy doesn't quit. That's what I like about him. That is the best. See, I don't find the word. It's something that he has. He has a drive where he says, you know what, man? I didn't think I'm gonna succeed. I succeeded. Then I thought I'm gonna succeed. I didn't. And now I'm thinking I'm gonna succeed. I'm gonna succeed or I'm not gonna succeed. You don't really know unless you work on it. Unless you come in the morning on a podcast and to pump up Jungle Book, a Vitaliy Versace film directed by Vitaliy Versace. Search Jungle Book. Make a wish. You have never seen a Jungle Book like this. Starring Maxim, a boy, as the Jungle Book boy, Mowgli. You have to watch this. They made another Jungle Book in Hollywood by this guy who made Iron Man, but it's not compared with the Jungle Book that Mr. Vitaliy Versace is doing. It's on YouTube. You know what it is. These clever birds will work for food. You're not gonna believe this. In Puy de Fou, a history-based theme park in France, one city in France, Les Especes, has trained 6 crows, the birds, the blackbirds, to pick up trash, and then they dump the trash in a trash bin, and then the trash bin automatically gives them a piece of food when they drop the trash in. So you're gonna throw your ice cream paper on the ground, the bird is gonna come pick up the trash and put it in a trash bin, dude. And that got me thinking with the drones. Why not there not drones that pick up trash? That's a good idea. You know what I mean? Patent that. I mean, the crow, she still has some free will of herself. Unless you put an android and connect an android to a bird's brain, that would be a cool thing. To take control of the bird, connect to her eyes, and have the camera directly through her vision, to the bird's vision. And that's the real drone, if you really want a drone, to control a bird. But other than that, have drones to pick up trash. And I just want to show you a schematic here for drones that can pick up trash and drop them. This is the patent. Okay, you have the picture on the screen. The trash is being picked up by drone and then put in a trash bin. And also this patent was took by IBM, filed by IBM a couple of days ago, but not picking up trash, but picking up coffee. IBM has invented coffee drones, and they predict when you need a cup. The barista handing you your cup of coffee might be one day a drone. IBM has secured a patent for coffee drone that not only flies around public spaces to deliver cups of brew, but also predicts which people need caffeine pick-me-ups. So the computer will know if your body needs caffeine, and the drone is gonna bring you coffee, pick up trash, and do all kinds of things. I was talking yesterday on a show with Mr. Versace about this situation, where I said, dude, these Alexa speakers, they have nothing. They don't move, they don't have hands, they don't have wheels, they don't fly, they don't move, they're not mobile. So I can't use, I want them to cook food for me, clean the trash, do everything for me. So connect the Alexa with a drone and have it work for me in a house here, because I need somebody to work. Because to set up the show, set up the equipment, when I wake up in the morning, I'll brush my teeth, but do everything else, you know. I would love even a drone to have it in my tub when I take a shower, to wash my back, you know, with the soap and everything. Oh, make sure you wash me, you know, everything. In the morning, even now, my neck is tied up, you know, I didn't exercise. I'm gonna exercise after the show, just do couple of things. What I did as an exercise, what I like to do here in my studio where I'm at, maybe you're not able to see, but I like to clean around, you know, and see everything clean. And that's what I did this morning. I broomed everything, cleaned everything, so it looks like, even though I'm in my backyard, it looks like a beautiful environment. It's very important for Feng Shui. If you know Feng Shui, just make everything looks cool, so you can feel good in the place you live. So that's what we're doing, man, on this podcast. Let's call this guy Vitaliy Versace and get him on the show. He just woke up, so we gave him a little bit of time to brush his teeth and do the morning thing. Maybe he grabbed his Red Bull already. But yeah, we are here, man, talking about news, talking about nonsense, and talking about a beautiful guy. A beautiful guy like this guy, if you remember him. Hey, hello, Mr. Versace.
Good morning. Who's the beautiful guy?
Hey, good morning.
George.
Me too. I'm a great actor, but I was talking about the guy who plays in Aquaman. You remember when we were watching together, you were by my house in Hollywood, we were watching Game of Thrones. But he was in the first season, when Game of Thrones just started. And the blonde woman, the dragon woman, she was married with one guy who...
With the beard and long hair, yeah, and he died.
Yeah, he died, yeah. I was very disappointed when he died. And
me too.
many women, moviegoers, they show support now for Aquaman and Venom. Because he's playing in that and he's a beautiful guy. And they felt sorry he died, the women. They felt sorry he died in that one, in Game of Thrones, and he is being reborn in Aquaman.
That's good. More work.
Mm-hmm.
More work. So you have a guest? You were talking to
No.
somebody?
I was just doing the monologue, man. I was saying, dude, I was missing you on the show. I said, wow, Versace gave me a red flag yesterday because some people were telling him, dude, why are you doing this podcast? It's a waste of time, blah, 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 you know. So I said, wow, he gave me the red flag, and maybe now he's sleeping in. He doesn't care, so he doesn't want to be on the podcast anymore. So I was really happy when I got you back. I couldn't believe it.
Well, it's the weekend, man, so I want to get some sleep. sleep in, so I wake up later always on weekends.
Yeah, I thought so,
So,
for a moment.
first of all.
Yeah.
Second one, man, if I'll decide to quit the show, I'll tell you on the show so audience knows.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah, you would say goodbye to the audience in a proper manner.
exactly,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
thousand, like your goal, 1,000 hours is a lot.
It's 1,000
You have to
episodes, yeah.
1,000 episodes.
It's
So
doing very well, by the way.
you have to understand, man, every hour I talk on the show.
But this
I
is
take
not.
from
I'm
my-
sorry, I can't pay you, because it doesn't pay yet.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm taking
But
from
soon, I
my
promise,
kids or from
I'll put you on a
somebody else.
salary. When the podcast starts making money, I'll put you on a salary. I don't care.
Yeah, okay. Alright then. That was good.
And thank you very much for being on the show.
I was just trying to say that if it's a waste of time, man, that this every hour, like it's 32 hours that I took from my kids or some things that I could have done. So if it's not going to be success and it's a waste of time, then it's
But they're
just
not
a waste of
sleeping,
time.
right? They're not sleeping when you do the podcast. Your kids?
Nah, really, no. No. Right now, everybody's up, man. So
In a weekend, but yeah, during the week, Monday to Friday.
during the week they go to school, dude.
I see.
They go to school, so
Yeah, during the weekend you have to start. We have to start at 7 a.m. Right? So
8:05, man. I already talked to you about this.
yeah,
8:05 to 9:05, man.
8 to 9.
I
Yeah.
wish I could push. I wish I could push to 9 to 10.
Oh, I wish
you
to.
were-
I wish to. They
yeah.
gave me 1 hour extra at work. They got us all in a meeting, and they said,
Mhm.
okay, for you, because I'm still new basically. I'm not 3 months in a job yet in this one.
Yeah.
So they said for you, because they pay us less, we give you 1 hour extra. Isn't that wonderful? Everybody applauded. Yeah. Oh my God, 1 hour
Is
extra.
that? Oh, so that was a while ago. I remember you said that.
Yeah.
Now-
So that's what changed. Cause I would start at 11, but
Yeah.
we could do 9 to 10. But now I start at 10. Actually, if I'm not signing, the lady, she's already yelling. Okay, everybody on the phones. It's 10 a.m. You know? Sure. But dude, you know what's the good thing? I'm just there. Nobody bothers me, man. Nobody comes to bother me. Like sometimes they send me some reports and stuff like that, and they get me, oh, you forgot to promote the brand at the end of the call or something like that. I say, yes, ma'am. I'll remember next time, because these people, they listening on the phone. You know, if you are rude with the people and stuff like that, you're out of there.
Yeah.
You say goodbye. And one person yesterday, he told me to go F myself. People calling, sometimes yelling, cursing at me, all day long.
Wow.
So I have to stay really calm, and I say, of course, we'll file a complaint right now in your name. Actually, because this is not something that you need to be upset about. Just for this product to be delivered to your door, for you to get upset, this is not normal. This is not normal for you to be on the phone with me and get upset for something minor like this. So, sir, Mr. Versace, I'm gonna do for you right now the best job I can, because I am here at work in my cubicle and I have the account in front of me. Okay, your account, and I'm gonna make everything for you to feel fantastic in every way.
Okay, good.
That's how I tell them, man. And then
So what's
I
new
think
in the
either they
world?
think, okay, this guy is nuts, you know, is something going on, you know what I mean? And they leave me alone and I take care of their account, and by the end of the call they are like extremely happy and satisfied. Okay, I found the crazy guy at the computer that he did the job for me. They trust me, you know. By the end of the call, they trust me that I contacted the route manager, and you know what I mean?
Of course. Yeah.
So
I
that's
know
the
what you
trick.
mean, man.
That's the trick. Some people, I like that, you know. Some people, maybe it happens like 3 times, 4 times a week, when they say, you know, may I please speak with your supervisor, because they wanna say good things about me, like how good I was on the phone and I took care of their situation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then I do that, and then I receive like an email. kudos for George Anton for doing, I don't know, some.
You don't have enough of this shit. You have to talk about this on the radio about this. Actually, I thought you'd be sick by now with that. Let's just talk about something else.
I know, right? Well, this is my day, man. This is what's happening. I'm just letting people know and letting you know what's going on with my life, because this is a very happy day today. I don't want to repeat
Somebody
myself.
give George a job, man. Hire him for an editing with 30, 40, 50,000 a year so he can relax and not do this one job. Please help this guy so he can be happy, man. Alright, let's move on now.
Thank you so much for this promotion. This promotion actually deserves a special news that I have right here. Oh God, what is it? Let me find it, man, because this is very important. It's about a woman. She was driving, right? And then she ran out of gas. And then one homeless person, he came to her and he only had $20 in his pocket left. And he bought her gas. And then the woman got the gas. She went home. She was very happy. And then, she said, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna help him. And then she went back to him. She took a video, a photo with him, and she made him a GoFundMe page. And the GoFundMe page raised $400,000 for this homeless person after they hear the story. People, over 13,000 people called
Donated money.
about this. Yeah, if you can believe it.
Yeah, I do believe it. This is
And the
good
couple,
things happen.
the woman, the guy, and the lady, that they were taking care of the situation,
Mhm.
they only gave him $30,000.
Well, only.
What?
Only.
Only.
Oh, they give him. Oh, you mean they kept the rest of it?
Yeah, they kept the rest of the money.
Wow, that's not good.
I know, right? So,
Sounds like,
because
they
money
did like,
is the eye of the devil. If you believe in devil, do you believe in devil?
But why you like so much money then, man? Because you keep talking money is everything. I mean, you keep talking about the money is so important. Now you're saying the money is devil. Why you like devil so much, man?
Well, everybody likes devil so much.
Not really, not so much. I mean, some people like it more, some people like it less. So,
Dude, without money, you can move, man. Today I'm thinking when I'm gonna exit the house, I'm gonna go and spend a minimum probably $20, $30.
I'm thinking for you today to work all day and finish my project. That's what I'm thinking for you.
Well, yeah,
You know?
but I have to
So
eat.
don't exit the house. Don't eat until you finish. What do you mean eat, man? No food, nothing, man.
Right.
But just
Yeah.
I don't eat till 3, 4 p.m., man. So,
Dude,
man, I was talking to you yesterday about
they raised
the
400. Let me finish this story. I'm sorry. They really raised $402,000, and GoFundMe charged a fee of $30,000. And this couple, Mark D'Amico and Kate McClure, they gave him, because I don't want to do fake news, they gave him 75 grand. And they should be close to another $300,000 available to Johnny. But now there is a lawyer that is working to get the money from these people and give to the homeless person.
Yep, that's what's happening with the. Yeah, I don't know, man. I never believed in this GoFundMe, man. Thing. I don't know who goes on that thing. I have a couple producers. I'm working on a couple films right now, and they really believe in that. And I'm like, to keep telling them, hey, just don't get discouraged if you don't raise enough money or no money at all. It's life, man. You just move on. You keep making the movie. You don't just give up because you don't rely on anybody but yourself. And of course, producers, people around you who work on the project. So right now, man, I'm producing 5 films, and actually 3 films are in in talks right now to be produced, and a few of them are directed. Two I was supposed to direct, so we'll see. So what I was saying, man, yesterday, man, I talked to you about the Jungle Book, man, and from yesterday to today, he got 5,000. So it's amazing, man. 5,000 in one day. So every day it gets like bigger and nicer. So I don't know. Thanks to people, audience, to everybody who's watching that movie on YouTube. It's free. It costs nothing, and it's not.
Look, man, I
movie,
tell you, I'm
man.
gonna tell you a secret, okay? That is happening right now. I'm not gonna say more because I don't wanna drag here and promote, because I'm thankful too, okay, for all the people that did what they did, and it's just that people like us because I know the show is not fantastic. You know what I mean? It's not like we don't have amazing guests and stuff like that. But people love it because we're talking about filmmaking and because we're real, man. We just people see that filmmaking is a struggle and we don't quit. And I'm just gonna say that, you know.
Well,
And some people, I tell you, some people you're not gonna. I mean, you're gonna doing this podcast. You're gonna go through some difficult times, you know, where people they're gonna start some people talking bad, but majority talking good, you know, because people cannot stop critics. You cannot stop critics.
yeah.
You
So,
and don't take it personally because this is just a person at the computer and they're just making a comment. And if they would be in front of you, you know, to say, okay, so what is your problem? Like, what? Why are you hating? You know, for doing this podcast or for being a filmmaker? I don't understand. What is the problem? And they will not have the courage to stand up to you and tell you anything. You know what I mean?
yeah.
This is just
Well,
fact. Yeah.
you said about filmmaking and about everything. So you can, January 7th, 2019, I was invited on another podcast as a guest, LA Talk Show. So it's on air too, and it talks about myself, mostly about where I come from, about filmmaking, about projects and how I feel. So you can listen to that one. It's on iTunes as well. So, and yeah, man, I'm glad to be a guest here on this show. So, I
Man,
feel
you're
I
not.
can
You're more than a
because-
guest, man. You are part of the show. You
Well,
are
I want to
a
be
sidekick.
a guest, man.
You know what a sidekick is?
This is not my cup of tea, man. I like to be a guest. I want to
The
be a
best,
guest.
the best sidekicks out there is not their cup of tea. That is the beauty of it. You know, because you can watch. I can show you a million podcasts on a thing where you can see two guys talking or something, and it goes something like, oh yeah, and I don't know, they're talking about something, but they keep pretending. The what I seek from this podcast is when I look back, if I get to live by the time I'll be 70 years old. I mean, if I'm still paying for this, I mean, why am I paying? You know, because I'm paying every month, and it's gonna go up to $100. That is for sure, every month. You know, from investment. And if I'm to look back and say, you know what, man, at least I did something, man. I did that podcast. I did that movie, Goats from the Underground. You did that movie, Taekwondo Kid. We released it on the market, and we're moving on to the next, man.
Yeah.
Next episode, next movie. You know?
Well,
So, I mean, we're just here to relax, really.
yeah. So,
It takes a while also for the people, man, to get used to my voice. Because my voice is annoying by default, you know, when you hear it.
maybe it takes a while for you to get more professional with the show too.
That's
To have
exactly.
intro, the beginning, man, like a podcast is doing. So, I mean, like every other podcast.
Yeah,
So we can just.
exactly. And I also need. I was watching Joe Rogan podcast. I don't know if you watch that, dude. He has a beautiful American flag in the background. Like right now, I have like a garden, you know, palm trees and stuff. But I should have American flag, right?
I don't know, whatever you want to have, man. I mean, the guy is an American. And he's a political, probably. I don't know what he talks about.
Everything. He smokes weed
Well,
on a show, and man, that's another thing. He smokes weed. Like yesterday, I was watching. He was smoking with one guy from Blunts. He was smoking on a show. Oh, oh. And then they're just talking, high, on medical marijuana. I don't think it's I think it's now it's legal in California. They can smoke. So,
yeah,
but
yeah. It's
I don't know how is that allowed on YouTube to show. I mean, I know I smoke cigarette, but I don't know how is that allowed to smoke marijuana on podcast.
well, I don't know. I don't want to know.
Well,
So that's all you got from that show that you were listening to?
well, listen. He was he had the he had the podcast. He had the physicist Tyson. What's his name? That was an amazing podcast. I forget his name. This guy Tyson something. An amazing podcast. Everything about
He died
history,
from?
science.
He died?
No, 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 no. It was on a podcast, man. What do you mean died? It was just now on a
So
podcast.
you just said he died.
No, he didn't die. Sorry. His name is Tyson.
I don't know.
Somebody. Then he had the musician, really cool guy, talking about Alex Jones, media, and they're just really talking. It's basically like our show. I mean, it's not. It's
So what the guy said about Alex Jones?
he's a friend of his. Joe Rogan is a friend with Alex Jones back in 1995. You know, and when the guy was starting as a comedian. So Alex Jones was on a show actually on Joe Rogan podcast, and it was the most viewed podcast on YouTube and on iTunes. And he said that right now he doesn't have to want to have him on the show until the case is solved with lawsuits that Alex Jones has, because he's got a couple of lawsuits, you know. So
Yeah, yeah.
this guy doesn't want to put on a podcast the situation with the lawsuit, and you know, until that is resolved, and then he gets him.
No,
But
I think
basically, he
it's
was saying
different.
that Alex Jones was basically always into conspiracy theories, into globalists, world control, and all kinds of conspiracy
Yeah.
theories. Like I have a story right now, and this is real. This is coming from CNN or someone. India's biometric database is creating a perfect surveillance state. So basically, what they're doing in India, and America is behind it. All the big US technology companies are behind this scanning. So they are using India as a testing ground. They are scanning all the Indians people. They're scanning their eyes and their faces and their everything, their bodies basically. So they can be detected like that. And it's a testing ground that's gonna move to America. Big US technology companies are involved in the construction of one of the most intrusive citizen surveillance programs in history. For the past 9 years, India has been building the world's biggest biometric database by collecting fingerprints, iris scans, and photos of nearly 1.3 billion people. Okay? For US tech companies like Microsoft, Amazon, and Facebook, the project called Akshar, which means proof of basis in Hindi, could be a gold mine. So you imagine how you can control all this. What businesses you can do with 1.3 million people in a database. Their personal
Billion, not million.
billion.
But
Billion.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is the entire population of India.
So then you
So I
have
don't
a
know
guy,
if this is-
yeah. Then you have a guy like Alex Jones talking about this type of conspiracy theories, you know? He takes a news like this and then he makes up a story, he makes up something like fiction, and he combines fiction with reality, and he makes up like a fake news that is people can are enjoyed by the news. You know what I mean? So just making the news enjoyable, dude. That's what Alex Jones is doing, and now he's involved in.
And he should be able, to do it, man. I think, my personal opinion, man, if you have an audience who can't wait to listen to you, then you should be allowed to speak to your audience. There's nothing unless you brainwash them and you do something illegal. But
So
if
what
this
do you
guy
do
has
then?
a big what do you mean? What do
Let
you
me
do
tell
then?
you.
Then
So,
you
for example, let's say you are the owner of Facebook, okay? And then you have a guy. You have a guy that has a lot of influence, and he's, majority of people they have low brain power, and this guy is able to tell them some news like the kids from that city that is fake, where it was a mass shooting or something, and parents lost their children there, and this guy makes up a story that is fake, that it didn't take place, so we can support the gun control. Okay, so then when you have something like this and you are the owner of Facebook, what do you do with this guy? It's
well,
your it's your Facebook. This is not
yeah,
this
I
is a private
understand. I
company.
understand. And the Facebook is doing that right now. They are uh, trying to explain the people and the government, everybody, we are not a media company. We are not creating content. We are just a Facebook. This is a connection between people talking, friends. They are not a news release source. They are not. You don't believe the Facebook. Facebook is Facebook. It's people. You know, it's like your neighbor start telling you a story about somebody. That's not for sure. You have to believe. It's up to you to believe it or not. If it's nonsense or if it's true. You know, so
Right,
I
but
mean, there's a
the
lot of
people
people.
do not have the common sense to know
They
exactly it
do.
is
They
nonsense.
do.
You
They do.
trust, man. People. It was one guy. He made a story once that there was a bunch of pedophiles having children locked up in a basement in a pizzeria in New York, and one guy conspiracy.
That's Alex Jones said that,
Yeah,
man.
and
He
one
said
guy
that.
went to the
He
gun there.
said, yeah, he said that actually Hillary Clinton, man, had these people or something. They had people in the basement. He went there and shot some people. But this is you can. That's the problem of everybody taking one case and labeling everybody under. Look, dude, there is insane people in this country. In every country, there is no debate about that. Look in LA, that said 200,000
Right.
people are sleeping on the street. They are not 100% sane. They are completely. At least 20,000 of them are insane. So you get a couple people once in a while, a bad apple like that, man. Look, that guy was on news yesterday. He killed his wife and children, man, and he is in prison.
Oh
And
my
the
God,
other
that was
guy,
a
the
horrible
Mexican,
story. I avoided to even bring that up because I didn't want to talk about it,
yeah.
because it was just
Alright,
like
so
disconcerting to me.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then that Mexican guy who killed that girl that was missing a few weeks ago, man, that was missing, and now they found her dead. And the guy was illegal here, man. So
Dude,
you
isn't
get
that
this
story
kind of
crazy? And it pumps up now with that on a Donald Trump thing, man. Because Donald Trump is saying this, the immigrants are killing, and look what just happened. Like one immigrant killed this girl
yeah,
in
man.
Iowa.
Dude, it's happening all the time. People go missing all the time. This is just one case where this guy got caught, man. So many people don't get caught, man, and they do
Oh
these
my
bad
God.
things. And it's very hard to catch these people that are illegal. They have no paperwork, no trail, nothing, man. So a lot of people talk about this illegal immigration. A lot of immigrants who are here legally, like you and me, they were, listen, man, I came here legally. I waited in line. I did my paperwork.
Me too, man.
Everything like you should. Yeah, like it should be, not like running through the border. And these people have to be like, man, this is insane. It's not easy, man, to do what Donald Trump is trying to do, man. He's trying to run like he run his company, this country, to run success and have people safe and make people make money and everything, man.
Right.
And a lot of people are sticking sticks in his wheels, man, and it's very hard to. But a lot of people are taking his side. Last night I was watching so many videos and so many things about this.
Iowa murder draws attention to agriculture industry hiring undocumented immigrants. Dane Lang, a co-owner of Yarabi Farms, this is a woman that owns a farm outside of Brooklyn, Iowa, stood outside his family farm this week and lamented that he had employed undocumented immigrant charged in the murder of 20-year-old Molly Tibbetts. Then he was
That's
asked
what happened.
if any other non-US citizens are among the 10 employees of the farm. And the guy said, I don't want to answer that question.
The guy should be arrested right away.
It's illegal to hire. It's illegal to hire.
Of course it's illegal. Illegal people. Of course it's illegal. I would, man, if I would be for real Donald Trump, I would cancel all this sanctuary cities, man. That's breaking the law. What sanctuary city, man? You're breaking the law. How can you call yourself the sanctuary city?
But
Protect
wait,
people.
if you don't
What
hire
people?
them,
Protect your
if you
own
don't
people.
hire them, man, how who's gonna pick up the watermelons?
Oh, people will pick up. If there's nobody to pick up, they'll pick up. Don't worry about it. We picked up the watermelon all the time.
Oh yeah.
Hire the legal ones, man. Look, man, you go right now to any country you want, man. Any country, Romania, Mexico, any country, and you ask, create a list. Actually, Australia did that. When I was moving to U.S., I had hundreds of my friends who moved to Australia because Australia opened a book, and you just write your name, your family, and you say, I want to move to Australia. And they took that whole book and they moved everybody and they started new cities. So what you gotta do, man, you ask in Romania or you ask somebody in any country in there, or Ukraine or Russia or anywhere, you ask, do you guys want to pick some watermelon for $10 an hour and we move you there and you're gonna start the new life? I guarantee you 100 million people would sign up for the list, and they would do legal paperwork and show up here and pay tax. And do you have where to trace them if they do something stupid? And you either deport them or throw them in jail if they do something stupid.
Yeah. President Ronald Reagan, man, he signed an immigration law that granted amnesty to near 3 million undocumented immigrants who those who worked on farms. They were giving the easiest path to the US citizenship if you work on a farm.
Because they were short. They were short on this kind of labor, man. They were short on farmers. You know, economy goes up. People go to college. People want high-paying jobs. People want to work in an office and answer phones or on the computer. They don't want them and stay in the heat all day.
Dude, these people you don't understand, they are working maybe for, I don't know if they're paying as an undocumented immigrant. I think they pay them maybe $3 an hour, $4 an hour.
I think a little bit more than that, but
And these guys, I have a picture here, man, they bring them to the field in a heat on a watermelon plantation with a school bus.
yeah. Well, because they can't drive. They don't have the
ID.
driver license ID.
Yeah, that's strange.
This people, man, live. Come on, you see how many people in LA live like this, man. They live. What is it? 10, 20 people in one apartment, man. For them, life. I don't understand how these people live like this. To them, lifestyle is not important. I guess because they got used to it. They're wherever they're from to eat on live on the top of each other in this wooden shed and all this stuff. They don't like. See, when you bring. Let me tell you an example. When you bring a Russian to this country, for example, or Ukrainian or even Romanians and all this, let's say an European, Eastern European to this country, they try to work hard, buy a house, buy a Mercedes, buy a BMW, work and live a very, very high class life. When somebody when somebody comes from Mexico, man, they don't. It's only 1% of them that want to be live like that. The rest of them, they don't care about their own quality of life. They don't care about anything. They just like go to a Chinese buffet and eat a lot,
Yeah.
and that's it. They go on welfare and get themselves the medical card. And I'm talking about legal right now, not illegal.
Hmm.
And they don't really care to buy themselves a nice house or a nice car. They just want to live like, and in the worst neighborhoods.
Yeah. I was reading this morning a judge passed a law in San Diego to not give fines to the people that they are living in their vehicles. There's so many, and because basically they were giving fines to a guy. What are you doing? "Oh, I'm just reading a book." He can say.
No, that's not good. I mean, they can, you can. I'm like, I don't want to see homeless people. I want to be against homeless people, but just to help them. But I think anybody in this country should be allowed to sleep in your car, man. Look, dude, I drove a couple times cross country, like let's say 4 times from East Coast to West Coast, and you did, and everybody. And imagine this: I pulled over at the rest area and I took a nap because I didn't want to book a hotel for 2-hour nap. I mean, just it makes no sense. I would waste more time booking the hotel. So I just pulled over and I took a nap. Imagine somebody knocking on my door and giving me a ticket because I sleep in my car. Come on. I mean, it's your property. Nobody can tell you what you can do. I mean,
Yeah.
as teenagers, when we were younger, like 18, 19, we even had sex in the car, in the parking lot, schools, or anywhere. And the cop would come and knock on the door and said, "Come on, guys, just wrap it up, move on." I mean, even that, and it was nobody give you a ticket. And now people have nowhere to live, and that's all they have, man. That 4 wheels, man.
Yeah.
It's just not.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's a lot of poor people in America, but a lot of poor people in Venezuela. These people stole
in the
billions
whole
of dollars.
world.
This guy is a truck driver. Now he's the president. And I was thinking, man, this guy is gonna be down soon because the economy is doing so bad that this regime is gonna be changed. And I think now is the moment, if you will have cash, man, money to buy land in Venezuela. Can you imagine how cheap
It's
the land is?
expensive, man. No, it's expensive. Very expensive.
People are hungry, man. They don't have any money to buy, man. I think you can buy land.
Yeah, but nobody's gonna sell it. I mean, for cheap or no, it's expensive still, man. It's just the market is for. There is a country, Belize, not far from Venezuela. A lot of people went there. And actually it's an English country, so they speak English, which is good. In South America, but it's kind of close to Central America. But it's weird that that's one of the countries that speaks English.
Yeah.
And a lot of Americans went there. It's very beautiful. It's a small country, 100,000 people only. And they went and bought properties. Very nice on the ocean. Very beautiful. And now the properties are like in Beverly Hills. I mean, you can't even, there's no point buying somewhere in freaking South America a house.
Yeah.
It's worth as much as in Beverly
You can buy here
Hills.
in
I would
America
rather-
soon. They say that President Donald Trump said Wednesday that if he were to be impeached, the market.
the market would crash. It's
Everybody
true.
knows that one, huh?
It's true, first of all, from every perspective. People that don't like Donald Trump, and they maybe want him impeached, they said, yeah, it's true. The reason why it's true, because America is #1 economy in the world. So when you are creating this chaos of people impeaching president, market goes down because they don't know what's next. It's normal. Any bad negative news crashes. A little bit the stocks go down, but this would be a disaster. I mean, there was not one president in the history of America that was impeached. So this would be very, and it's not possible to impeach this guy, man, because 90% of America loves him, man. And yesterday I was watching these videos of black people, white people, everybody like, well, I'll vote for him. And personally, me, I'll go vote for him again. help him, because right now they're going to be voting for. I'll just vote everybody that Trump needs for help, support just Trump. And so what's happening is, would create some chaos. But this is not. I don't have to even talk about this, because that word is not even on the table that they use. So it's impossible. Nobody's going to allow that to happen. So
The enemy of Donald Trump and veteran Senator John McCain is discontinuing treatment for cancer.
yeah.
And I have a picture because he has brain cancer, man. That is, I never checked on
I
my
can't
brain.
believe this guy.
If I have
can't
brain
believe
cancer,
this guy.
I'm done basically.
I can't believe in this guy. This guy's got few days to live, man, and he's so angry and fighting a president or people of America that put this guy there. Man. Just go spend some time with your family, say goodbye.
He
Go
does, he
apologize
does.
to a couple people that you.
This is a family of
offended.
very, very rich people, man. This is
Well,
Americans.
it's not, nothing happens. Nothing helps, man. He's rich, but he's gonna die anyway. I mean, who's gonna help him? Money's not gonna help him.
Well, he stays to his
shows
family all the
people.
money.
So what, family? You dead anyway. Especially you. You don't believe in life after death. So I mean, you dead, man. You are just nothing. You're gone. So
Yeah.
what that helps? I mean, no money can bring you back, man.
Well, Elon Musk says that 99% chance that this reality is a simulation. So maybe if it's a simulation, then maybe this guy is gonna wake up in another world, like you say, like a heaven or something.
Well, you gotta, if he makes his, if he cleans up his acts and he apologizes and he fixes his life, man, I don't know where he is. He only God knows. I don't want to judge this guy. Maybe every evening he goes, falls on his knees and asks God forgiveness, and God actually is forgiving him.
Yeah.
So I'm nobody.
Do you think he's gonna apologize to Donald Trump before he dies?
I hope so. I mean, it's, I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to live with this. But man, I'm not better than this guy, man. I mean,
Yeah.
we all are like sinners and we're all bad people. I mean,
But he
Yeah,
was, he was a veteran, man. He was captured in a war in Vietnam.
so what? So what do you want me to do that from that?
No, he's a hero. He's an American hero.
Yeah.
And
Everybody's a hero, man. There's heroes right now. A cop on the street saving somebody and dying, man, and
Really?
leaving his kid behind. That's a hero. Yesterday in LA on the freeway, 2 cops died. That's
Why?
heroes to me. Why? There was an explosion. The traffic. They served tacos on the freeway, man, because it was such a big traffic. But this is not. This is one thing, dude. Every day somebody dies, a cop, some hero, and we don't talk about them. So what? McCain has money, and we're gonna talk about him? He's a bigger hero? Come on, man. It's like Bush was trying to fix that he was in military, and he wanted to go there, and this. It was publicity, man. I mean,
Right.
I'm not trying. I mean, we all like, it's just people, man, rich people, and they have no more rights than anybody than the homeless on the street. This is America about this, man. The only one thing is upsetting that it's such a powerful and rich nation, and we can afford giving everybody free medicine, man. This is the saddest thing in the whole world, seriously. I mean, with so much money, man, in this country, we are the richest, people in the world, man. You are in top 10% richest person in the world. So how can we, as Americans, cannot give
Look,
to
man,
every American free medicine?
I understand what you're saying. You're a very positive guy. And I am one of the richest. The fact that I'm sitting here smoking every morning doing a podcast. How many people can afford that? Less. That means you're rich. If you can afford to do a podcast in the morning, that means you're rich. There is something going on in your life that you are able to put yourself on a podcast every morning. Because most of the people, they cannot. Even I'm sitting here in my
You said
studio,
it yourself,
ants are eating
man.
me.
You said it yourself, man.
The
Venezuela,
fact-
Africa,
Yeah.
people are dying, man. No food,
Yeah.
no electronics, nothing. And you have an opportunity to even smoke and drink and eat and dress up in a suit, man.
Crazy.
I mean, there's people who don't even have that, man.
Today
So,
I did the T-shirt day. You missed the announcement because the weekend, man, it's so hot, and because we're starting a little bit the podcast later, it's getting so hot, and then I'm sweating and I'm getting uncomfortable. You know what? I said I'm gonna do the weekends. I do them in a T-shirt.
Yeah, that's fine.
So the
the
second, the
T-shirt.
fact I'm richest person in the world, the fact that I'm able to play a character in a movie. I am actually shooting a movie. I feel so confident to shoot a movie. If you wake up in Africa, somewhere in Congo, man, and there is nothing going on, okay? No food, no work, no sun, no water, nothing to drink. The children are crying. The wife is, I don't know where she is, picking up some grass to feed, to boil something, to eat. It's not gonna be a podcast. It's not gonna be a movie. The fact that I'm being able to play a character in this coming up film, Goats from the Underground, where I play, actually I was thinking to play a scientist, but I changed. Now I'm gonna play children book writer, because I have a bunch of books in my back, in behind the couch. So I'm gonna use that, and that is a lucky rich guy to be able to do this in America, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you recognize that, realize that.
I have to. You have to look in a mirror and see.
Yeah.
Are you a great actor? Yes. Are you making a movie? Yes. Is the movie gonna be available on Amazon? Yes.
Well, the first one is a question to the people. The second one is question to you.
Yeah.
Are you a great actor? People gonna tell you, are you making a movie? That's a question to you. So you're asking yourself every question. But,
In a mirror.
But yeah, man, whatever, man, whatever.
It's kind of an assurance. This is like when you cannot afford the insurance from a company to insure the movie. This is the insurance of the movie. You have promised the movie on a podcast. Now you have to do it. How you do it?
Yeah.
Nobody cares. If you don't do the movie, then you lose the insurance. You lose the podcast.
Yeah, man, just
So,
do
yeah.
it and that's it, man. I can't wait to see it. So good luck.
Thank you,
That's it.
thank you very much. I highly appreciate it. Me
Yeah.
too, actually.
Yeah.
Dude, the foldable screens in the phones are closer than you think. To be able to just fold your phone.
Yeah.
A small company based in Fremont, California, named Royal, pronounced Royal, is hoping to get close. It has developed a super thin OLED display about 0.01 millimeter thick, which flex, fold, and even flap in a wind. So that's a screen. I thought that's a
iPhone like that.
Mhm. I thought that was a good news. I know you're not much into technology, but this is
No,
for
I like
for
that. I
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
I'm for that too. I wish iPhone would be like that, and that's it. Then the rich people like Michael Bay. This is a joke. This is not an offense, and this is not a judgment. But then Michael Bay, if he has a phone like that, he can roll the phone and snort some coke, and then unroll it and talk on the phone.
Oh, I see.
So it's.
Dude, I wouldn't even
I hope-
know. Did you ever took
I
cocaine?
hope Michael Bay quit all that stuff, man. I like the guy, man. It's nothing bad. But, I'm being like Jimmy Kimmel right now, man.
Right.
Making
It's
fun
a
of
joke.
people.
No, but I wanted to ask you a serious question, because this cocaine I never understood. Did you ever took cocaine? I never in my life took, and I will never
did.
take.
I never even smoked the weed, man, in my life. So I don't know. I'm not the drug person. I
Right.
don't take drugs.
Yeah, I thought
Dude,
I'd
I don't
ask.
even have to take Tylenol. If I have a headache, I don't even take the regular like the ones that you aspirin or Tylenol or all this. I don't even take that.
Oh shit, I take Tylenol, man. If I have a headache or something, I take whatever. Two of them.
I don't, yeah. I don't take any drugs like that. This is man-made drugs. I hate the drugs.
Basically, Tylenol or these things are basically caffeine, does something to your brain, relaxes the muscles in your brain or something like that. I'm not
Well, I
really
take a Red
don't want
Bull
to give
and
the
go
wrong
to sleep,
information.
and I wake up better.
You drink that Red Bull, man, and that Red Bull that you're drinking, it has
That's
so
caffeine.
much caffeine inside that I don't know.
Yeah, and you take Tylenol, so we even, man. And you smoke some cigarettes. It's okay, man. We all do whatever how we feel is right. Man. I'm doing my life how I want it, and you do. You can take Tylenol every day. You can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
I just never believed in this. I don't believe in hospitals. I don't believe in this drugs and all this stuff.
yeah.
Man.
I mean, you are
I
at
wish
the
nobody
extreme.
has to visit. I wish nobody has to visit the hospital in their life, man. So the doctors go broke and then get another job, so they can understand that you don't have to make $500,000 being a doctor, man. This is very upsetting. I would rather give a police officer and fire department $500,000 job and give these doctors $40,000-$50,000 salary like the cops make. They risk their lives, man. Actually, there's a news, man, about doctors, man. They did a study, man, from all the careers in life. That's including producers, actors, everybody. And they did a study, which is the highest suicide career in the world. And after they did this thing,
Mm.
doctors are number one. There's more doctors, and I don't know why. There are a lot of dentists. More than half of them are dentists. So they did this study, man, that doctors commit suicide. I don't know why.
I think they
So,
take they have some drugs there they take.
It's not just drugs. I think maybe it's some kind of guilt. They didn't save the life. Oh, the other thing, there's a number where it says an order. Let me see if I can find it right now, because this is important to talk about this, because I found this on this study that was done, and I have to find this picture to explain you, because I don't want to be wrong, and I want to be exactly the same.
Right.
Whatever. So I'm
Dude,
looking
the
right now
doctors they were prescribing in America drugs. This is like drug dealers. So
Alright,
that
so
is
Alright, I found this. So I think I talked maybe about this before, but
Yeah.
I want to connect this doctor thing. So it says U.S. deaths in 2016, and he has 5. So he has like this, man. In U.S. in 2016 deaths, in the order, the gun killed 374 people.
Hmm.
The hammer killed 472.
Hammer.
The fist. Yeah, hammer. People killed people with hammer. The fist, man. The fist
Yeah.
killed 656 people.
Wow.
And then the knife killed 1,604 people. So 1,604 people. Then the next one in order is the pills, drugs, killed 52,898 people. Then doctors. It's a nice picture of a woman and a man as a doctor dressed in white, and next to it says how many people they killed. 250,000 people. So $250,000 people were killed by the people that you paid them $250,000 to save you. They actually
Yeah, but you
killed
see
more.
that if you get into that situation, you're probably already almost dead. That's why
So,
this
and then
number
the
is so high.
the last one is for you, my friend, because I think I talked to you about this. The last one, it has 480,000 people died. That's double than the doctors killed, and it's called cigarette.
Yeah.
That's the last thing.
Shit.
That's the last thing. That's the last thing on the list, man. 500,000 people died from cigarettes. That's just 2016. And what's funny, man, doctors are upsetting that they killed all this stuff. But what's funny, you pick up a hammer, and he doesn't say, be careful, this kills people. You pick up a knife, he doesn't say, be careful, this kills people. You pick up a gun, doesn't say, be careful, this kill people. You go talk to a doctor, the doctor doesn't tell you, be careful, I might kill you. But you pick up a pack of cigarettes, and he tells you, this might kill you, might cause cancer.
Damn,
This
dude.
might cause this and this. And you still open it and pull a cigarette and light it up. This
Yeah,
is
no,
like
I'm gonna
it's a
think of quitting. I have one more last cigarette in a pack. This pack is empty, but I don't know if this should be the last cigarette or not, man.
Read what says on the pack, man, because it's read it and notice what you're doing to yourself. You should.
Yeah.
It's an American law that they
This
have to
product
notify.
contains chemicals known to the state of California to cause cancer.
See, that's it. And it just gives you an insight about what you're doing, man. On my Red Bull, when I pick up my Red Bull, I just finished one. It doesn't tell you that, hey, this might cause you a heart attack. It doesn't. That means the government, because government insisted for the cigarettes to put that, because they did the research and they actually proved that all those people died from cigarettes. But nobody can prove about Red Bull that people died from Red Bull. Yeah, maybe a few people died. I don't know. People die from everything, man. People die from sex.
You got
There's
it, man.
people in China-
I'm gonna buy that vapor thing. That's it. I think this is the last cigarette on a show.
If you
I am
really
showing
wanna
right
be
now
a-
the last cigarette that I'm gonna smoke on a podcast. I'm gonna switch to that vapor thing, just to have something to puff on a show, on a podcast every morning, and after that I'm gonna quit completely the nicotine, because that gives you popcorn lungs. The vapor,
Yeah,
the vapor is also bad. It gives you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I gotta still get the nicotine. I gotta trick my brain into
So
getting
what,
the nicotine.
right?
What?
You know the vapor is bad and cigarettes is bad and all this is unnecessary because, see, if you want to be a chimney, man, like, look, one guy
Dude, this
said
is a
something-
God calling, man. Look, the sun came out right now in my head. It's burning hot on a show. Just when I said I'm gonna quit smoking. This is the last cigarette. I'm gonna smoke it right now on a show. And this is the last cigarette I will smoke. And I'm doing this for my daughter. I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing this for Mr. Vitaliy Versace. And ultimately,
No, for
I'm doing
yourself,
this
bro.
for my... What? Go ahead.
Yeah, for yourself.
For
first, man. You don't have
myself.
to do it for me.
So I am quitting smoking on a podcast today. It's gonna be a tough situation because I have to smoke today. I have a lot of editing to do. I have a lot of work to do, and I have to a lot of filming that I have to do. And I'm gonna go to the store, buy one of those puffers, that gives you popcorn lungs, because they discovered, actually, man. I don't wanna say anything about that bad, but it is true that the people working in a popcorn factory, they got popcorn lungs because of the flavors that they use in these puffers, these vapor cigarettes. And it gives to all the people that you see them using the vapor cigarettes, it gives them something called popcorn lungs. So your lungs are gonna be basically like popcorn. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, man. So you've done another amazing thing today. Only my wife, she was able to do this. You know, my wife, she was able to make me quit smoking. Quit smoking, quit smoking. I quit smoking. I didn't smoke 11 years. Then I got divorced. I started smoking again. So this is the
Wow.
marriage
That
between
means you did that
myself.
for your wife, man, not for yourself, man. You gotta do it for yourself, not for your wife, man.
Well, this is. I just wanted to make it like the Oscars. I don't know if you get it.
Yeah.
If I would have on a show, see, that's why I'm saying we have to upgrade the show. If I would have on a show, now would be like I would tell the guy that would do the sounds to do the Oscar ceremony, you know, and then I would say thank you to my mother, to my friends, thank
And
you
then
to
the
my
music would
audience,
start.
huh?
And then the music would start playing.
Yeah, the music for the Oscars. Ta, 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 ta. Thank you.
Yeah,
You know what I
come on,
mean?
It's time to wrap it up, George. It's time to wrap it up. So the music would come. But you have me for that to remind you all the time. Right now we're at 55 minutes. I mean, I am at 55 minutes. So 56.
It's okay, man. This is the weekend, and I'm glad that I was able to talk to you about these foldable screens, because
Yeah.
that was an exciting thing, actually. I wanted to mention to you.
Yeah.
And one more thing, man. I mean, I never asked you about your sexual life and stuff like that, but I just wanted to tell you, a woman in United Kingdom, she contracted a rare STD. Do you know what a STD is?
I know. I was just talking about that last night with somebody, man.
With
And
who?
he eats the flesh. He eats the flesh.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
It's a sexually transmitted disease that you take by effing a
Yeah.
woman, and or
It's
a
a very
man,
rare disease.
if you do
To
it
be
a
honest.
man too, you're gonna get that.
Yeah, the one
Um,
in a billion. Not gonna. It's I mean something very rare. So I mean I don't think anybody has to worry about that.
you're not worried about going and getting some flesh-eating disease.
Not really, because you have to be like a porn star or somebody who does everybody. And if you if you stay in the family, even if you have just one lover, one girl on the side, or two, whatever, you stick to the same people. There's no way you can. You have to stay clean. You're not a prostitute on the street, man. Those people maybe have some chances, or young people that go in the bars and clubs and they just meet people and F everybody and whatever. But if
Dude,
you
I'm
come in the
trying
family,
because I have such a limited time. Thanks God. I am stuck with this job. I am being forced to do this job that I'm doing. And then when I come home, I'm busy doing the podcast with you. We're having fun. And then I'm making the movies, editing your movie, shooting this other movie. I mean, there is not enough time, right? And
yeah,
dude, I don't even have time to masturbate. Like, I don't look at porn. I said I'm not gonna look at porn, you porn, and porns.
you are not a sexual person, so everything depends on the
Everybody's
person,
a sexual
man.
person, but when I feel
Not
just to not
really,
get
not
blue
really.
balls, when I feel like, oh my god, and I just release it in a shower fast, like within 5 minutes, I saw, oh, thanks God, it's gone, and then I'm safe again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
I,
how often happens that? How often happens that?
Man, I try not to do it. I tried to say let me release my balls maybe once or two every 2 weeks, and it seems. Why are you laughing?
Huh. No, it's interesting because I do it twice a day. So imagine that, man. There's no in my
It's
last
too no. You waste too much energy. You waste
I
too
mean,
much
no,
energy.
but this happens when you married, man. I mean, people when you married, when you have sexual life, man, or whatever, man, you gotta.
I know I'm
You don't
divorced. I'm not looking for sex right now for another woman with the fleshy with all these STDs, flesh eating diseases and stuff, dude. I'm not looking for a woman right now to have sex with, unless
There is people, man, like this,
I
man.
mean
They
there
are
has to be
married
some
and they
conditions
fuck.
that you cannot even imagine.
They have a listen, man. There's people who are married and they have a lover on the side,
Oh
and they
no.
have maybe one, just maybe two sometimes, and there is people who do it 2-3 times a day. There's people who do it more than that, maybe less than that. So I mean, I can tell when I was really young, it was like more crazy about things. But as you get older, man, close to 40, you kind of like chill a little bit.
Hmm.
It's not that. But yeah, man, it's everybody's different, man. Some people are very sexual. Some people are in the middle. Some people are not sexual at all. So it all depends. And the goal is to be with somebody who's like you, man.
Right.
So you're not creating stress, because if you are sexual and you have somebody who's not sexual that much, then you just like one more and they don't want, so that creates the stress. Or you have to be exactly like your partner, man. Same sexuality, man. Desire, I would want to put same desire and sexuality.
To match.
Yeah, you have to match, man. You have to match because it's your partner, man. It's either your wife or your lover. It has to be kind of similar, man. It has to be the same thing.
Right.
And if you have a lover, I would personally suggest you to mention that you as well married, so they know that they don't have this. You don't have this like a thing that they wait for you to marry them or something. You know, so you got to be honest with your partners because it's important. It's not just about especially with the you know. Alright, man, I don't know what we got on the sexual part. Let's talk about this. Not our turn.
Dude, no, this is. Let me smoke this last cigarette on a show, just to record it. You know, this is the last cigarette that I'm gonna smoke in my life. I mean, this is a very important moment. You understand that, right?
Yeah, everybody understands that. But this is
I just
important
lighted
for
up.
you.
I just lighted up. So let's stay on the
This is an
show.
important moment, not just for you, not for you, man, not for everybody, for you. Nobody cares about how much you smoke. Nobody cares if you're gonna die tomorrow, man. There's only few people who do care. So it's important for you, man, to like you said, for your daughter, to be there for longer, man. Like I was just telling my daughter yesterday, she's almost 13 and she's the youngest.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. So this is for everybody out there who smokes. Because I'm gonna put this on Instagram. You're watching this on Instagram right now. Listen to Mr. Vitaliy Versace. Why to quit smoking? For your daughter, for your family, for yourself. Go ahead, Mr. Versace.
So I was just telling her yesterday that I wanna be there to walk her down the aisle, man, when she gets married. So that's one thing on my list that when I'm alive, hopefully I'm alive for that, and I can walk her down the aisle. I don't know if you understand what that means. When
I
the girl
completely
is
understand.
getting
My daughter,
married.
she's 11 years old, so to walk her on the aisle. If I don't quit smoking, I might be one of the 450,000 people dying of cancer. If I didn't get the cancer already, it's eating my lungs already.
Yeah. So walking down the aisle means when she's dressed in white, man, and she's getting married, and you walking her down the aisle and you give her to the guy who's marrying her. That does every father to his daughter in this country. It's kind of giving your daughter away to some dude. So, I mean, it's an important thing to do. You don't do that to boys, only to girls. And, yeah, just to be there for her. And she's the youngest, so.
Yeah.
Your daughter is, like, I think a year younger than mine. So, so that's going to be soon, man.
No, she's not, dude. You had your daughter before mine, dude.
Of course, that's what I said. Yours is a year younger than
Yeah,
mine.
yeah. I'm sorry with my
Mine's
mathematics.
gonna be 13. Mine's turning 13, man, and yours is gonna turn 12. Probably, I don't know.
They're probably gonna hang out together one day when they're gonna be like in their 20s. They're gonna meet
I don't
and they're gonna talk about us. You know, did you see our fathers? What they were doing? What? Okay, come here. Let me show you the podcast. And then they would see the podcast recorded talking about them.
Or they're gonna be embarrassed about this podcast.
Huh?
Or they're gonna be embarrassed about this
For
podcast.
what to be embarrassed, man? You think you're gonna be the same person like when you're gonna be in 10 years from now, and your daughter's gonna be? Did you see this podcast you did? Come on, do you think I'm the same person right now at 50 that I was when I was 40? I was a different person then. I mean, go look at the video if you wanna. If you like the video, watch your father on the podcast. Go ahead and watch the father on the podcast. If you want your real father, you know I'm here. You know, and I saved myself for you to walk you on the aisle. And I was talking about that. So what's the problem?
Well, we'll see. Time is gonna show, dude. Time is gonna show.
Man, when you're thinking this is the last cigarette that I'm smoking on a show in my life, this show is the witness.
Well, we'll see if you're gonna be a junkie and not hold on to the promise, and you're just gonna tomorrow or today shake and go get another pack, and you're just gonna break the promise, and that means you're a junkie. You have no will, no free will to stop something, or you actually have the free will, and you're gonna do this till the end, and you're not gonna smoke another cigarette. And this is nobody can tell. This is between you, man, because nobody has control of you. Or no, you could smoke a cigarette before the show or after, and nobody's gonna know. So this is technically, I'm saying right now for you, for yourself to know: are you a junkie or you are have power?
For nicotine, right now I'm a junkie.
Yeah. So we'll see how you're gonna do it. If you're gonna do it today again, then means you're a junkie. You have no free will.
I'm not gonna do it.
Yes, that's good.
I'm not gonna.
You're not a junkie.
I'm not gonna do it. I mean, look, man. If I said I'm gonna make a movie, okay, I'm gonna be starring in this movie, Goats from the Underground. I have. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, making a movie it's one thing, and be addicted to a nicotine or this whatever you're doing. That's a totally different thing, man.
I'm addicted
You
to
know. So,
winning.
all right, let's wrap up the show so you can go and do some editing and do
Man,
something, man. Because,
I'm addicted to winning. Hold on, because I didn't finish the cigarette. It's just half. I'm addicted to winning. I want to win like Donald Trump, like our president. My father always told me, listen, because I see you. One time he beat me, man. My father. But I knew. So he caught me because I went and I got myself an atlas, with the maps of the world. And I was just a kid. I went to the library and I bought it with my money. I asked my mother. And then I went there and I bought English Romanian and Romanian English dictionary. And I just read that dictionary, and I was reading and making notes on a map. I was taking a dump and reading the dictionary, Romanian English, to learn English, because I knew I need communication. I need to be able to communicate with these people. I'm coming in America here. I gotta be able to talk to them. And then I was crossing the map with my pen on a map. How am I gonna cross to Western Europe, escape the country, and then go and jump on a boat somewhere in England, and then take the boat from England and come to America illegally? That was my mind. I was like maybe 13 years old or something like that. So I don't know why did I start talking about this?
I don't know, man, about your father and your winner. You
Oh,
want to
yeah,
become
yeah.
Donald Trump.
And he called me and he said, "Oh, I know you want to run away from home." You know what I mean? And then, man, he beat me at my ass because I knew. So then I put some books. It was not a book, it was more like a magazine. I put it on my ass and he was slapping me on my ass and it didn't work out. You know what I mean? And I was almost laughing, but, poor guy. His hand was hurting.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's the thing.
That's the whole story makes you one step closer to Donald Trump, man.
Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. I'm addicted to winning. I said I'm gonna come to America when I was 13. I'm here, and now I said I'm gonna make it. I mean, I don't know if you want to consider me a filmmaker after I made over 20 feature-length motion pictures. Then you can say, okay, man, you're a filmmaker, whatever. But with the money, that's the problem. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he does not exist. So that's what Kevin Spacey, our friend, said about the money, man. That's the devil. And that is the last thing that I have to conquest here in America. I have to be stronger than the devil. So then what that means, if you believe in devil, I don't believe in devil, but I just believe in devil if I put it in a movie, like in this movie coming up that I'm starring in, the main actor goes from the underground. When I see the devil in a shape of a goat, you can see a picture on YouTube if you're watching this on YouTube as well. You can see my reaction acting. So I believe like that in a devil. But in a real world, the devil is the money. So if you conquest the money, then you get the power. And if you get the power, you get the women. How was it in Scarface?
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Listen, man. No, I don't. Listen. So, let's wrap up the show. So, I want to say one more thing, man. I give this movie, man, that you worked on, The Last Vampire on Earth, to this people, to this distribution company.
Yeah.
And I was yesterday online and watching. I just wanted to hit the most popular movies that they have, man, the top 10. So, it's very weird, man, because they give me top most popular 10 movies, man. And last night I watched one of the films to see with what films I'm competing with, man. So number one movie most popular they have, this whole distribution company, which they have almost 200 films, man. Big budget films, all type of films. So the number one most popular film is The Last Vampire on Earth, man. And he has 404,000 views. And I I took a screenshot because I'm looking at the screenshot.
Send
right
it to
now.
me so
Yes.
we play it tomorrow on the show.
Yeah, so what happens, the next one is bed and breakfast with the 100,000 less, which is about $5 million budget, which is second one after mine. And then the third one is The Attic, which is another big movie, which is 180,000. And then on the Wings of an Angel, on Angel Wings full movie has 129K. So you see, this is a big, and I watched one of them till next one was 100,000. It was called Stealing the Stone of Destiny or something, made in Ireland. A very good movie I watched. It had 100,000 views only, and I was looking, man, I'm comparing to these people, and it's 4 times more views than any of those big ass budget movies, man. So
That we did. Yeah, man, you're a great director. Last Vampire on Earth, directed by Vitaliy Versace.
It's not about director. I'm highlighting independent filmmaking, man.
Yeah, that's
You
true. I
could
mean,
spend
I don't care.
$10,000
I shot that movie. I'm proud that I hear that the image that I shot, director of photography,
for $10,000.
watched by 500,000 people.
Yeah, this is just on one thing, man, and it does well on Amazon Prime and everywhere. So
Yeah.
it just highlights independent filmmaking, man.
The movies that they are on YouTube, what Anton Pictures, man. These movies, Robinson Crusoe, that I done 3 million something views, Born into Mafia, millions of views. All these movies are growing. Are always growing. It's like I don't see them growing a lot because I look how many views is this? How many views I got on what movie? It was like Dracula. Oh, 7 million. That's not enough. And then I'm looking, but hold on, because it was 5 million before. It was 6 million, it was 7. You know what I mean? So it's still growing. And most of YouTube videos, they don't go more than 6, 7 million unless it's something big.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's wrap up the show. Have a nice weekend, guys. It's a beautiful Saturday. God bless you guys. God bless America. God bless Donald Trump. And hopefully God's going to help you, George, to hold on those cigarettes. And
Well, I still have a quarter of a cigarette, my friend, to go. It's the last cigarette that I'm smoking on a show. I'm not going to be smoking. Versace, actually, Mr. Versace, with George Anton and Vitaliy Versace podcast, he said to stop smoking. And he was keep stressing me out for the past 6-7 shows. He was keep mentioning every show at least 2 times. Oh, you're smoking, you're sitting there, you're smoking. So now is nothing that Mr. Versace is gonna have to say about me on a podcast that I'm smoking, because I'm gonna be quitting smoking cigarettes. All right. So this is the last cigarette George Anton, the Hollywood film director, is gonna smoke. And the podcast is the witness. This podcast is basically the promotion, is the river of social media posts coming from Mr. Vitaliy Versace and George Anton Productions. And we're looking for investors. I mean, if there are any investors out there interested, and I know many of you like the show, I'm not gonna mention more. Thank you very much for watching and having fun with us here, because that's all about, just having a little bit of fun and making a good show. Getting scared sometimes that Mr. Versace is not gonna come back on the show because he gives us some, but that makes the show more interesting. And now we have a statement from him. If he ever quits the George Anton and Vitaliy Versace podcast, he's gonna make the announcement live on the air to all the audience, and it's not gonna be any problem there. And we want to thank you, man. If you don't want to do the show, I'm gonna stay here and find. It's only 5 minutes more. You don't want to stay on the show?
No, I already said goodbye, so you can finish 5 minutes more. Talk about something else, whatever. You can talk about your goals.
What was I talking about last?
I said goodbye, man. I hate doing this, man. I should have hung up when you were talking about all that stuff.
But what was I talking about last time? Because I think I had one more piece while I finish this cigarette with you, dude. Oh yeah, one more thing, but I don't think you care about this one. I think.
So can you finish up by
Yeah,
yourself?
it's Japan gets first female fighter pilot. Japan has appointed its first female fighter pilot, the latest achievement in national push for greater gender equality in a traditionally male-dominated country. Because you know how Japanese are, right? Did you read the James Clavell Shogun, the book?
No, I didn't. I asked you to do it on your own, man, but you don't hear me, man. You hear just yourself.
Okay, man. Then say your last words. Say goodbye to the audience, and you can hang up. I'll finish the show shortly.
Yeah, I already said, man, goodbye. So I'm gonna repeat myself again, guys. Have a nice Saturday. God bless you guys. God bless America. God bless Donald Trump. And George's gonna continue for the next 5 minutes until he finishes his last cigarette. Bye bye.
Last cigarette ever that I would smoke, my brother. Japanese, male-dominated society. I read the book Shogun. It's about a guy, a European, in I would say, what year was it? I don't want to be wrong. I'm gonna be wrong for sure, but it's something that exactly after the medieval age, and he is going to Japan to trade. He gets there through a shipwreck. Thick ass book, this thick, for people who are watching. And I was very young. I was, I think, 14, and a friend of mine from the neighborhood, he goes, "Hey man, did you read this Japanese book Shogun?" And I said, "No." "Oh man, it's an amazing book." At that time I was reading kind of like maximum 200, 300,000 pages. This one had like 10,000 pages, like something crazy. It was a thick ass book. And I said, "Man, let me dive into it." Because I wasn't sure that I have the mental intellect to be able to understand the book. And then if I don't understand it, don't read it. And then I started reading the book Shogun. This adventure, amazing adventure in Japan, where you find out, I mean, I'm not sure how much is fiction, but it's much based on reality. James Clavell is an amazing writer, describing the Japanese society. I'm gonna say that much. Anybody in a male-dominated society in Japan, now we have a Japanese female fighter, and we're happy about that. And he's gonna continue writing the history of Japan. I like Japan, man. I like Japanese people. A lot of Japanese people are investors. A lot of Japanese people love movies, and any Japanese people out there that they want to invest in George Anton and Vitaliy Versace productions right now, any amount of startup money, so we can start this company, they can contact me. I don't have any GoFundMe. We're talking about a homeless guy picking up $400,000 because he gave $20 gas to a woman, and the people, I don't know, 13,000 people donations, and he got 400 grand. With 400 grand, I would be able to move the studio from here, start making movies, not being by my backyard doing the podcast by the highway. I would be in a studio in Los Angeles making movies every day. That's what I would get GoFundMe $400,000. That's just crazy. You can listen earlier in the show if you want the story about the homeless and GoFundMe. So you're gonna not find any GoFundMe with me, nothing like that, Kickstarter, nothing like that. You contact me directly. We make a contract, movie contract. I come to work, filming, editing. If you need video editing, if you need production, I promise I'll cut my hair too. Right now I have my hair long because I'm acting in this movie, Goats from the Underground, coming up, and I have the hair long. And if I want to cut my hair, I have to shoot a scene in a movie where I cut my hair. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad scene, and I'm probably gonna do that. And yeah, I'm gonna be presentable. Have the 400,000 ready for me, for movie investment, invest in a real movie company, not that like movie company that we talked about earlier in the show, where they made some movie with Johnny Depp and now it's owned by the bank, and they don't have where to sell it. The movies that we're gonna make together, if you bring this investment to the table, I don't know if, I mean, we do everything legal, everything, shows with the contract, everything, taxes, everything. We pay taxes, everything. So this company that I'm proposing to you, it's Anton Pictures. The company, you can go on YouTube channel, youtube.com/Anton Pictures. I have the company there. Watch all the movies that I've done before, so you can see my experience in movie making. But then you can also watch on Antflix. It's amazon.com/v/Antflix, ANTFLIX, and you can watch all the movies on Amazon. Actually, you're gonna generate some and support the podcast and support my life as a filmmaker if you watch movies on Amazon. Movies by George Anton. And also Mr. Vitaliy Versace. We have some movies. Some other movies he sold to other parties. So like The Last Vampire on Earth, I don't have the rights for that one. But you can watch. That's a movie made by us. I understand he's making a lot of money for these people, so that they got the distribution. I don't know. Mr. Versace owned the rights, so he sold them. So that's his business. But for this company, we're gonna have new movies, and these new movies, they're gonna go all on Amazon, and that's where the money are gonna come from. Now Amazon is still going strong. Amazon Video. Netflix is going down. Netflix is not gonna make it. Amazon, at least for the next 5 years, is gonna be better than Netflix in every single way possible. Streaming. They are right now giving me a distribution deal. I have a distribution deal with Amazon Video, and all the movies are playing on Amazon. In fact, for all the podcast listeners, I'm gonna put the web page soon. It's gonna be updated with antonpictures.com, and I'm gonna have there also the movies on Amazon. You can go directly and check the link, amazon.com/v/Antflix. You can watch it on your tablet, as Lenovo launches 5 new low-cost Android tablets. You wait for the new Android tablet to arrive, and then 5 come along at once. And they are all coming from Lenovo. The new slates fall into 2 separate categories, with a low-cost entry-level Lenovo tab. So you can get one of these tabs that are pretty fast. 1 gigabyte of RAM, that's not a lot, but still you can watch antflix.com/v/ amazon.com /v/Antflix. Antflix.com is not my website anymore. Someone took my name. I invented it. I had it registered on my name, antflix.com, and then I didn't pay for it. Some guy took it because I was promoting it so much, and some guy took it and put a bunch of links and nonsense. If you go on antflix.com, that's not my website, so don't go there. Soon, if I need to buy the Antflix domain, I have so many options. I can buy antflix.net, antflix.mobi, antflix. Whatever the hell. So I don't care. It's gonna be the new promotion. Everybody's gonna know where they're coming. And yeah, man, this was the show today. We had a good run. We had a good podcast today. And I almost don't want to let you go. Why? Because I still have this much, I would say, for the listeners on the podcast. It's basically the last 5 smokes, puffers. I can puff 5 times more from this cigarette, and then I'm gonna quit smoking. Watch. This is the last cigarette that I would smoke in my life, and I'm gonna quit, and I'm gonna go buy one of those puffing things, and I'm gonna just trick my brain that I'm still smoking some nicotine, so when I'm coming on a show, I'm gonna still be puffing this liquid. I'm gonna be spending money on this liquid, but I hope it's gonna be, I'm gonna use it as a tool to quit smoking. Yeah. I only have 30 seconds left, or I can go 10 more minutes with the show. So the question is if I let you go right now, or I have other news to talk about. And I do, man. I do. I want to talk about Sean William Scott and myself. I want you, for the last 10 minutes of the show, to concentrate on watching this gentleman, Sean William Scott, acting, and to watch the future Oscar winner for Best Actor, George Anton. That is myself. Watch this. If you are a podcast listener, these 10 minutes are dedicated to launching a mega star on the internet that is quitting smoking today on this show. This show is The Witness. This is the last cigarette. This is for my daughter. Oscar, music Oscar playing. This is for my daughter, for my ex-wife, for my ex-mother-in-law, which is still my mother-in-law, for my family, my father and my mother. God bless them. They're still going strong. Thanks God. I'm gonna call them right now after the show. Thank you to my brothers. I have to call my brother because he said he wants to use my computer. I have a powerful computer back home in Europe, and he says he wants to use it for rendering or something like that. I want to thank you to my brothers for quitting smoking. This is basically the last, how they call it in America, drag. When you drag out of a cigarette. And these are the 10 minutes dedicated to the best actor in America, George Anton. And you're gonna see me as big as Mel Gibson when he used to do Lethal Weapon. That's how big I'm gonna be. And I want you to watch Sean William Scott getting ready to replace the other guy who used to do Lethal Weapon, the TV show, who it was very hard to work with, the report says. They already have jumping off buses. Sean William Scott. He is now acting in a new Lethal Weapon. Now I'm throwing the last cigarette. This is the last cigarette smoked by George Anton, the greatest actor, who's gonna be as big as Sean William Scott. Now I'm smoke nicotine cigarettes free. I don't smoke cigarettes anymore. I just quit smoking. Alright, Fox is beginning to roll out the trailers for the new and improved Lethal Weapon starring Sean William Scott. The American Pie actor will play Wesley Cole, an ex-CIA agent who becomes the new partner of Roger Murtaugh, Damon Wayans, the guy, but he is no less of a lethal weapon than Martin Riggs. Previously played by the not so easy to work with Clay Cranford. Dude, there is not even a picture of Clay Cranford in this article. That's how the guy, I don't understand these guys once they make it. Once they are in a place, I started the show by telling you that I was telling you my work. I was boring Versace earlier, telling how hard I work every day, Monday to Friday, as a customer service representative to answer phone calls. And I'm an actor. I'm a SAG actor since 2006. If you want to hire me as an actor in your movie, I'm available. I'm working 8 hours a day, my friends. And I'm praying that someone would invest in my life. And this guy, what's his name? I already forgot his name. See? His name is Clay Crawford. Clay Crawford. He was so hard to work with on a set of Lethal Weapon, where he has a stunt guy who actually got hurt. He's in coma. He's stunt guy. The stunt guy gets in coma for you. You get paid millions of dollars and you are hard to work with, my friend. I mean, look very closely at this article. There is no more picture of Sean William Scott. There is a picture of this guy. I forgot his name. I don't know his name anymore. People gonna forget him. He had a chance. He can take his money, but there's gonna be no more acting for this guy. After you have Warner Brothers telling you, or these people, Fox, telling you they're not gonna be working with you anymore, you're a nobody. Nobody wanna work with you. And I already forgot your name. Now the new name is Sean William Scott and George Anton. George Actor. George Anton Acton. So George Anton and Sean William Scott, the best actors in America today. You can see them on screen. I'm actually gonna be bigger than Sean William Scott. I'm gonna be bigger than Little Weapon TV show that he's doing. I'm starring right now in a movie. You can watch me acting. I mean, look at Sean Williams Scott's face and look at my face, and look at the acting. I mean, look how good I'm acting, and I see a ghost in a movie, Ghost from the Underground, coming up. And look at Sean William Scott's face, like he's smiling, like, dude. My acting, I mean, I don't want to bash Sean William Scott. I love him and I love his movies. I think he's a very talented individual. But look at my acting. I mean, if I'm not beating Sean William Scott, who am I beating here, dude? So, I am basically the biggest actor in America. Just after Mel Gibson, I still think Mel Gibson is the biggest actor and the biggest director in America. Because I was thinking, if I would have to pick one director, who would you pick? And man, Steven Spielberg, he was out of the bat, and I was going between Milos Forman and Martin Scorsese, and I took Martin Scorsese out for Milos, and then I had Oliver Stone crossing through my mind, and I had to give it to Milos, and then I thought, dude, but you have to give it to Mel Gibson, man. You have to give it to the guy. For that Braveheart movie that he done, I think that beats everything else. Even though Milos Forman, I'll put them both. I'll put Milos Forman and Mel Gibson together as the biggest. But basically, these two guys, Milos Forman died, rest in peace, recently, actually. And it's only Mel Gibson left. I hope I get to live. Now I just quit smoking. I don't smoke anymore. I'm smoke free. That's a good news. I hope I get to live so you can have and see and have movies to watch from the second biggest actor in America after Mel Gibson, George Anton, the host of this podcast, where I'm gonna keep you updated with the George Anton and Vitaliy Versace productions. I mean, anytime Mr. Vitaliy Versace, we just had him on a show. It was a great show. It was a great time having him. And anytime he wants to promote his movies on a podcast, the new movie that I'm editing for him right now, Taekwondo Kid, I believe it's gonna be a very big hit. It starts very strong. As soon as I finish the show right now, I'm gonna start working on opening logo. I have to do the logo and everything. And it's gonna be a hit. Taekwondo Kid by Vitaliy Versace. You can watch now his movie, his latest hit, Jungle Book. It's available on YouTube. It gets already 500,000 views. I don't know how much, thousands of views. Thank you very much out there. Okay, and that is it. That is it. We have a last minute of the show, and I want to say thank you for this Saturday morning beautiful show, where I don't have to go to work and slave today, but I'm gonna slave on our own productions here, working, making some money from Mr. Versace. Thank you for the job, for editing this picture. Taekwondo Kid, kind of like Karate Kid but with Taekwondo. And yeah, promoting my movie, and working on my movie. Also goes from the underground, writing a couple of scenes. That was the purpose of the show, to write a couple of scenes with you. You know, the character. We decided